So, it seems like some of the other Callies figured me out. But with Sprite winning most of the regionals that happened over this weekend, we can easily say that I'm in first place for the Holy Grail and Sprite's one of the best decks, so it's nice to meet you guys. Fools! They don't even know that my reign of terror has just started! Sprites will not only take over this meta, but when the ban list happens the next, and the one after, my reign of terror will be infinite, and no more wedgies for us nerds!
Ready for your peanut butter and sardines?
Ooh, peanut butter and jelly sardines, oh my god, let's go. What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is an amazing update Monday. I hope that your day is going phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. If there was something that I could share with you for Update Monday, it is 100%, dog. Go ahead and check that status. Look, update your resume every single time, and it doesn't matter how big or how bad or how buff the opposition look, you still gotta check them, homie. That felt weird. I'm trying to be as PG as possible, but seriously, just because something looks really tough doesn't mean it's really tough. Take, for example, our regionals that we just happened over the weekend, where 5 out of the 6 winners were Sprite. Yo, it's a tier 0 format. It's over. We're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Sprite or die, right? I mean, I might think that someone is Fanta, so I want to see what that Mountain Dew, or I'm going to send them to Dr. Pepper. Today, I'm going to be giving you the top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh strategies this format. These are the strategies that I personally feel are the upper echelon of decks. And of course, they are built to be able to compete with Sprite and possibly can get even stronger with the next Forbidden list. So we already know that the Sprite strategy is tier 0, but why is it exactly tier 0? Personally, I would say it's tier 1, but we ain't gonna get into that. Sprite is so good in this Yu-Gi-Oh meta currently is because, first of all, players had about 3 days to prepare for the Sprite strategy in the TCG, which is totally different from the OCG. Ain't nobody got time to be playing simulators for hours and hours. Most people, we need the cards in front of our face. We not that big brain. The next thing is introducing Sprite into the format that we already have completely changes things, something that people have not done. Example time. Sprite is like ridiculously good at one thing and one thing only, making hand traps feel like you're just throwing money at a stripper. You ain't getting none. And the reason why I say this is because Sprite is built off of summoning level 2 monsters to the side of the field, and as long as they still have the level 2 monster, they are good. So even if you negate the Sprite monster's effects with cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring or Effect Veiler, then they'll still be able to have a monster to be able to follow up with. You literally, and oh no, what are you doing, baby? Like throwing money at strippers, you're not getting any. This literally makes almost every single hand trap in Yu-Gi-Oh! Completely useless, especially when you combine that with Gigantic Sprite preventing Nibiru. Ash, Veiler, Imperm, Nibiru. These were the 4 elements that left everything in harmony, with Nibiru being the combo stopper. But when we needed him most, he vanished! Seeing that the Sprite engine is so small, it could literally play up to 18 disruptive cards, whether it's hand traps or going second cards, prevent you from making your board, and then make their board, all alongside of making a they're totally awesome. Why was this card even like ever printed? No. Negating the activation and destroying the card wasn't enough. Let me steal my opponent's card. Yeah, that sounds fair. Oh yeah, definitely. I genuinely want to find the person that that made that totally awesome card. I just want to talk. That's all. I just want to talk. Yeah, you know, just talking. We just gonna talk. You gonna talk to Squamata. Fortunately enough, if you are big brain or if you're just watching this channel and subscribe, because I'm just gonna give you the answers right now, you will be able to not only counter the strategy, but also find balance in the format. There are actually quite a few ways to keep up with Sprite. The first thing is I really do not care about what board Sprite starts to make. I ain't here to stop you, dog. Go ahead. You could literally be my ex-girlfriend. I ain't stopping you. Just go. Just come back. You got the Netflix password. Come back. No, I'm not sipping. We not sipping. We pimping. We pimping real hard. Because I am not playing any hand traps for the rest of the format. Now, you guys hear me say that from time to time again, but if Sprite continues to go on the way that it is, then there's no need. There's actually some really good cards inside of the format that if you can abuse, really get over the Sprite strategy. I think that Sword Soul is a prime example of that, and I'm gonna keep on saying this. Everyone's playing Sword Soul wrong except for me. No, that's not narcissistic at all. You're playing Sword Soul wrong. I'm playing Sword Soul right. What I say by this is why waste your time playing hand traps when the Sword Soul strategy is just naturally good at going second. Bet on the Floor is an amazing card that negates the activations of card effects, but it also has an effect to destroy opponents' cards. This deck can play Mystic Mind probably as good as almost any other strategy in Yu-Gi-Oh! Why are you looking at me like that? We want to win? They're playing Sprite. Come on now, play fair. Mystic Mind not only stops my opponent's board, but also the 18 hand traps that they may want to use to stop me. I can then make monsters like Boxia, Brightness of Yang Zing to not only spin their monsters, I can then use this effect to destroy the Mystic Mind. From there, being able to control the game is fairly easy for a Sword Soul player, if not going for game. I genuinely don't understand why people make this game so much more complicated as it is. I'm little brain. Play little brain strategies, win games. I genuinely used to think that Sword Soul was a big brain strategy until I seen the Master Duel players. Oh man, how did they get there? Now this could be just pure copium because I did get 10th place with Sword Soul, and if you want to see an updated list of my Sword Soul deck, as well as some of the other strategies that I'm going to be talking about here, well, consider joining the Patreon. It helps me pay my editors, big dog. But the reason why I'm saying it's copium is because El Shaddai Winda is back into the format, and that's just something that special summon heavy decks don't like. The haters, they always talk about Winda this, Winda that. But we already know who the true players are. How's Squamata doing? Because pure Shadows are still good too. What a time to be alive, Vinny! Tier Limit is another strategy from Power of the Elements that has came out of the gate swinging. Not only can it play the branded engine, being able to fusion summon into Mirror Jade, which we already knew was a deadly Yu-Gi-Oh card, but also being able to fuse into some of the most unorthodox fusion monsters using monsters from your graveyard. One of my favorite plays for this deck is fusion summoning into Predaplant Dragostapelia, because not only does it negate the Sprite monster effect, it changes it from level 2 to level 1, which is huge. They need a level 2 to be able to follow up, but if the monster's not level 2 and the effect is negated, yo, we got a winner here. Tier Limit also, just like Sprite, has a natural immunity to a lot of hand traps. Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, Infinite Impermanence, yeah, those cards could hurt, but don't necessarily stop me from fusion summoning. You're gonna need cards like DD Crow, Ghost Bell, Skullmeister, and then when you do decide to play them in your deck, did you open them? With over 12 ways for the Tier Limit strategy to fuse, it feels like it's easier for your locals to not smell like ash cheeks and whatever that putrid smell is than you to be able to stop the Tier Limit from fusing. Being able to lock down some of the best Yu-Gi-Oh strategies that are special summon heavy has actually made way for a couple of other strategies that aren't so special summon heavy. Take, for example, one of the most degenerate trap decks ever in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! In Eldlich. You watch your mouth, peasant! For soon, I shall take the Holy Grail back, and everybody will get free Ghost Spell and Ash Blossom feed picks directly to your PC. Not only does the Eldlich strategy not care about El Shaddai Winda or monster effect negators like Sprite Red, it also plays all of the disruptive cards ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap cards like Gozen Match and Rivalry of the Warlords are fairly good cards against some, but not most. But when you can play both of those cards as well as there can be only one, there's not a strategy you can't hit. Genuinely, if your mom stood too close to the microwave before you were born, Eldlich just might be the strategy for you, because you really don't need that much of a brain to be able to pilot this deck and ruin everybody's fun. And lastly, the strategy may be a surprise to some, but it's still legitimately one of the best decks in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rokket Dragonling. Dragonling has the same feeling as the Sprite strategy. It doesn't matter how many hand traps you throw at the deck, if you're not getting rid of the monster effect and the monster in itself, Rokket Dragonling can typically still play. And then of course, there's also the Chaotic Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon, allowing them to pretty much search hand traps for their deck to their head. Ban Chaotic Ruler! I love Chaotic Ruler, but this is legitimately one of the most degenerate cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so ridiculous. Rokket Dragonling can put up a board similar to Sprite, except it's not weak to Dark Ruler no more. If you play the Dragon Maid engine, you can actually activate a Dragon Maid tied in against Chainlink 2, and then your Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss can negate the Dark Ruler no more, so it does have its advantages. The deck is also better than the Sprite strategy at being able to deal with going second, being able to finally link summon into its new Borlind Dragon, which is actually ridiculously good for the strategy. And that is all that I have for the top 5 strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I want you to let me know what you think in the comment section. Am I crazy? Is Math Mech a lot better than what I'm giving it credit for? Regardless, for all of these decks, I will be uploading deck lists on my Patreon as a thank you for helping me pay my editors. But until then, you can catch some more of these videos as I'll catch you on the next one.